Hey guys, so this is my Microbit candy counter. Now, I know this kind of looks interesting, but today is Sunday and Halloween is in 2 days. And well, I didn't decide to start building this until yesterday, so I'm kind of short on time. But basically, the way this works is an infrared sensor in there. So whenever the candy is dropped in, the infrared sensor triggers, which registers as one candy, and then your screen will show your candy amount. And you got your lights. So the thing is, you don't want to put more candy when the red light's on, because then it might cause a malfunction thing, or might like count candy as two, or might count it not at all. But basically, you only want to put the candy when the green light's on. Now, yesterday I was sharing this idea with a friend, and he was like, "Oh, why don't you put a metal detector on it?" And I'm like, "That stuff never really happens or anything. I'm not worried about metal being in my candy." But I was like, "Sure, why not do it just to add a little extra challenge?" So I did that as well because Microbit has can detect uh what's it called? Magnets. Yes, magnets and stuff and metal. So I just did that. Um, yeah. So now actually before I start showing you how this works, I will note that once I turn this on, I have to put my camera far away and I have to zoom in a lot, which I guess sadly will the video quality will be worse, but the metal detector is very sensitive to electronic devices such as phones, cameras, tablets. So I have to keep my phone here far away, otherwise it will trip. So I apologize for the bad quality that you'll be seeing, but it's kind of what I have to do. So I'm going to use a piece of cardboard to simulate dropping candy in. Here we go. And notice that the count goes up by 1 every time. Now let's say our candy gets stuck. Notice how it stays red, it doesn't count it anymore. Go ahead and take it out, it goes back to green. So I programmed this that we don't get any false counting. So that's that. Now let's say you've counted all your candy, now someone else wants to count their candy. Well, I have this button here that you can press, and it'll reset the count. And now it's reset, and I can put more candy in. Now normally I just drop it through, and you could I have a hole at the bottom, so you put like a candy bucket or something under there, catch all your candy. But yeah, that's it for now. Now let's move on to the metal detector. So for the metal detector portion, as soon as I turn it on, it'll start calibrating by taking 30 readings of the surrounding um, magnetic forces and stuff, and then it'll use that to determine whether if it detects a metal hazard or not. So it's very important that if you decide to do this, that you keep electronic devices away, which is why my phone zoomed in quite a bit, as you may notice, because it's really sensitive to electronic devices, even after calibration and before whatever. So also while using this, if you try not to move any metal things around it or away from it, because that could also screw it up and cause false alarms and whatnot. So yeah, just keep everything as it is and while you're using this thing. So now I'll turn it on, and when the screen says booting up, that's when it calibrates itself. So just something to keep in mind that this is not very accurate, and sometimes it gives false alarms. Sometimes it won't even alarm at all if there's metal in the chamber area. So if you do decide to make this, just know that's not going to be fully reliable, and you should probably still just double check just to make sure there's no metal in your candy. So yeah, but I'm going to show you how this works using this little Allen key on a piece of cardboard that I taped a piece of cardboard to simulate it operating. So now I decided to tape this Allen key on a piece of cardboard because it's small and it's a little piece of metal, which is probably what would be in a piece of candy if anything ever was. So I think this is a pretty accurate representation. And it will work both ways if the metal is facing the sensor or if it's not. So what I'll do is I'll put it in front of the microbit, which will have to go through 2 layers of cardboard, and it'll still trip. And you see, I didn't even touch the cardboard and it tripped, so it's pretty sensitive. But like I said, again, you still, sometimes it just doesn't even read it because the thing goes through the chute so fast. So try dropping it slowly if you choose to do that. But yeah, that's the metal detector portion basically.